Hello, it's Marley and welcome back to my booktube channel. Today I'm joined by Peach in the background and my phone keeps wanting to focus on her, so hopefully it is not going out of focus the whole time. But yeah, today I'm going to be letting you know my June TBR, all of my June reading plans. This month is a little different. I'm not going to be doing any of my usual TBR games. I'm going to be doing my typical 3-book reading vlog, and I'll let you guys know the theme that I'm going to be doing for June. And then the rest of the books I'm just gonna mood read, but in the way that I mood read, where like I still have them planned out, but like technically it's like kind of mood reading because I'm not forcing myself to read them through like a TBR game. I just chosen them. However, I do still have a little bit of a theme to my mood read in that I'm gonna try to read books with LGBTQIA plus themes because it is June, which is Pride Month, and I do always try to keep that in mind. So yeah, let's get into the reading plans. So first of all, the themed reading vlog that I'm gonna do in June is gonna be a reading vlog catching up on new releases. So many books are coming out constantly that I'm interested in reading, so I always get a little bit behind on new releases. So this vlog is going to allow me to catch up on a few new books from some of my favorite authors. So first up, we gotta talk about the new Emily Henry, Great Big Beautiful Life. Emily Henry, I've said it time and time again on my channel, is one of my favorite romance authors, and this is going to be my book club pick with my friends for the book club that I have IRL. Cut that out. For the book club I have with my friends off of BookTube. I have been hearing some negative things about this book, but I'm gonna try to ignore those and just go in with decent expectations because I've never rated an Emily Henry lower than 4, so I just can't see myself doing that. But this one is very much giving Taylor Jenkins Reid vibes, specifically the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, because it's about these 2 people who are competing to try to write the biography of this really well-known like celebrity who's had a bit of a mysterious, I guess, life and story. So the 2 of them are trying to convince her to let them write her kind of tell-all biography. So we're getting to see the romance between the 2 people, the 2 authors or journalists, and then we're also obviously seeing the story of this woman's life. And I've heard a lot of people say that it's kind of boring and this woman's life is kind of boring, but we'll see. I'll vlog it and you guys can hear my thoughts. Another one I have here is Fredrik Backman, My Friends, another author I love, especially, you know, Anxious People and the Beartown series. I just really adore him and his writing. So this is his newest release that came out this year. I don't know if I know the plot of it. I mean, I figure it's about a friend group, but let me see. Oh, so it's about an 18-year-old woman trying to figure out the story behind these 3 friends that are in a painting that she likes. So this must be the painting. Yeah, so this girl embarks on a surprise-filled cross-country journey to discover how the painting came to be and decide what to do with it. So that's actually kind of interesting. It's almost like similar to Great Big Beautiful Life because it's about a girl like trying to figure out, I guess, the life behind these people, similar to how they're trying to do that with that woman in Emily Henry's book. So maybe some similar like beautiful themes about life. I don't know. Then on a different note, the new Alice Feeney. She of course is a favorite thriller author of mine. She had a book come out called Beautiful Ugly. I think this one's been having a bit of mixed reviews as well, but that's kind of typical with Alice Feeney. I tend to be more of a fan than a hater. But in this new thriller, it's about a man and he's on the phone with his wife, and then he literally like hears her disappear. Like all of a sudden she gets out of her car and then it's just never seen or heard from again. Her car is found like I think near a cliff, something like that, and she's just gone. And so he's obviously grieving, and it's been a full year, and he decides to go to this Scottish island, which I think she's had books set in that kind of setting before. He's just kind of gonna get away, and I think he's a writer, so he's trying to like work on his new book. And then he sees a woman who looks like his wife there. So it's kind of like, is that his wife? Or someone else? Like, what's going on? I'm excited. I need to read more thrillers. I'm not reading enough thrillers this year, so it'll be good to read that one. Oh, before we get into the kind of LGBT books that I want to prioritize, I do want to get through the 4th and 5th volume of the Hell's Paradise manga. This is by Yuji Kaku. These are volumes I've had way too long from my friend. I am borrowing the volumes from her, and I'm just starting to feel really bad. Like I need to prioritize reading these. So this series is kind of cool. It's about this assassin who gets caught, and then he gets forced to go in this competition that's on an island, and it's like all these criminals and killers are put on this island. They're trying to like be the sole survivor, I think, that wins and finds this elixir that is like an immortality elixir. Anyways, clearly I'm not that far in. I'm only going to be going on to the 4th volume, but they've been okay. They haven't been as good as some of the other manga series that I've read, but they're good enough for me to like keep going. Then for the other ones I want to read, so we have Bloom. This is by Delilah S. Dawson. I think this is a little bit more out of my comfort zone because it is a horror, but just the way I've been hearing some of my favorite booktubers talk about it, I'm just interested. So it says a sweet, sapphic romance takes a deadly turn in this sharp as knife novella. So it's about a sapphic couple, obviously. So this woman Rosemary meets Ash at a farmer's market, and they have a really cute, I guess, sort of love story. I think it's the first time that she's fallen for a woman. And then it just says, but as her obsession with Ash consumes her, she may find she's not the one doing the devouring. I think it gets weird. I think it does get weird from what I've heard. So it's like a horror romance. So we'll see how that goes for me. Another one I want to read is An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson. This is the author of A Dowry in Blood, which is another horror romance that I really loved. That one had like inspiration from Dracula, kind of a Dracula retelling. And now this one is a Carmilla retelling. So I love that. I didn't love the book Carmilla. I feel like it just was a little bit redundant to Dracula and, you know, the old-timey language and stuff. Like I didn't love it, but to read like a newer version, like adaptation of Carmilla sounds really good. Because yeah, if you don't know, like Carmilla is like a female vampire, and then her and Laura, the human girl, that's kind of like a romance. So in this, both of the characters are attending this college, so I guess it'll give some maybe dark academia. I guess it's called An Education. So Laura starts this academic rivalry with Carmilla, so giving rivals to lovers, enemies to lovers. I love that. And then they just kind of start getting like obsessed with each other. There's gonna be vampires. So the most I've been exposed to the story is this little YouTube series I used to watch. I think it was a Canadian series, but it was like basically a retelling of Carmilla, but in like today's time, and they were like college students, so it sounds kind of similar to that. So I'm excited about that one, except I have heard not the best reviews, but we're gonna still give it a chance. The next one is Stars in Your Eyes by Kacen Callendar. I have read from this author before. Felix Ever After was a really good young adult book from this author, and this is an adult book, I believe. So it is a romance, and it's about these two actors who are gonna star in this movie together. There starts to be like bad press surrounding the movie because one of them is like a bad boy, bad reputation kind of guy, and then the other one is more of like a wholesome guy. So they start fake dating, I guess kind of like a marketing scheme to make people more interested in the movie after they had some bad press. So this is not a unique tale. I've definitely read things similar to this, like that one from Alexis Hall. That was pretty similar, but you know what? I've enjoyed Kacen Callendar's books in the past, so we're gonna give this one a go. So that's it for my TBR this month. Maybe not as fun and exciting because I didn't do any TBR games or TBR cards or anything, but I am still looking forward to the TBR. Feel free to let me know if you have thoughts on any of these books, or let me know what you are reading for June, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time in my next video.